In today's episode, I want to talk about your Mac or your iPhone or actually any device you have, iPad or whatever. I get asked quite often about what Mac should I get? How old should it be? Now, I understand buying a new machine is quite expensive, so you can't always go out and buy a new machine. But what a lot of people don't think about when they decide to get a second-hand Mac, and there's nothing wrong with second-hand Macs at all, is that the age of the machine. Some people go and buy like a machine that's 5 years old or 6 years old or 7 years old. Now, those machines would work, that's fine, and they still will work. The problem comes with the operating system and how you can upgrade them. Now,